Welcome to our daily reflection for this Wednesday, February 5th. And today we hear the temptation of a false gospel. And it goes back to both readings. So we can start with the epistle to the Hebrews. And so in this epistle, he has to encourage the audience and us to not give up hope or be discouraged if there's discipline and suffering and trials in our Christian life. And the temptation could be, wait a minute, I'm a Christian, I'm faithful to God, therefore God should take care of me. I shouldn't have trials and I shouldn't have suffering and setbacks. Shouldn't have that. And the opposite is actually the case. And the author of the Hebrews quotes from the book of Proverbs, which says, "My son, do not disdain the discipline of the Lord or lose heart when reproved by him. For whom the Lord loves, he disciplines, and he scourges every son he acknowledges." So the opposite is the case according to the Word of God. The more you're beloved by God, the more trials and suffering and tribulations and purifications and refinement you're going to experience. And it's counterintuitive. And this is the opposite of what I would call the prosperity gospel, right? The health and prosperity gospel, which is still peddled to this day by popular televangelists and others. The idea that if you name it, claim it. That if you want health, you just need to ask for it. If you want prosperity, just name it and claim it. And that if you ask it, God will give it to you. And if you're generous, God will be generous back and you'll be even more wealthy in this world. And that is not true. And we see this in so many things where St. Paul, who is beloved of God, and he asked God to take away a serious physical ailment that is plaguing him. And this, what he calls thorn in the flesh. And God says, "My grace is sufficient for you," right? "For my power is made manifest in weakness." And so if God didn't answer Paul, who believed quite profoundly, we can know that if we have ailments and that we've asked God to heal us from or take away, and we're not answered, it's not because of our lack of faith. It's because it's God's plan. We just have to submit. It's okay to ask God to heal. It's okay for God to ask God to bless and bring things. But if he doesn't give them on our timeline or in our way, we can't be disquieted. We can't be discouraged. We have to trust that it's the best thing for us and that that's God's will. And so that's important. And today we also have in the gospel, as we've been following this thread of faith and trust in God, Jesus goes to Nazareth and he's amazed at their lack of faith. And so he can do no great miracles there, not many at least, because of their lack of faith. May we trust God, and then he can do with us what he wants. That is what matters. We have to have, in a sense, that faith of Job, who said, "Yea, though he slay me, yet I will trust in him." Do you believe and trust in Jesus? That even if it means your death, you're going to trust that that's the best thing. That's what we're called to do as Christians. And so let's believe and trust that even in our affliction, and those fact of trials and afflictions are a sign of God's favor and love, not his disfavor. Let's hold to the true gospel and trust in our loving Father to the end. May the Lord bless and keep you.
This daily reflection is brought to you thanks to the generous support of the Mission Circle. Join the Mission Circle to help Catholics worldwide understand, live, and share their faith. Sign up at missioncircle.org today.